Yo, what's going on, guys? Black Halo here. Today we're going to be covering the elemental dragon changes and what they're doing to the current dragon in the state of the game right now. I really think this is a good change because ever since dragon stopped granting gold, a lot of teams have just not even cared about dragon. It's just been underwhelming to them for whatever reason. People just overlook it all the time, don't even care about its benefits and buffs, and just ignore it completely. And I guess it's just because you don't necessarily need every single dragon to carry games, and it doesn't really benefit you too much. But hell, I've always wanted a little advantage. I've always wanted an edge on my opponents. I never really ignored dragon, but this is going to fix that type of issue. Teammates are going to be more willing to contest these dragons. Now, as you guys should already know, there are 4 types of elemental dragons, and there's an elder dragon. There's a fire, water, earth, and air dragon now, which all give unique buffs, and the elder dragon is similar to what 5th dragon used to be in the old dragon. So I've been saying dragon a lot in these sentences, however, you guys already get the drift. The old dragon is going away. You don't just necessarily stack the same thing over and over and get said buffs. You randomly get the opportunity to get different buffs from each dragon that spawns. So fire, water, earth, and air all have unique buffs. Starting off with fire, it's kind of like how the first dragon used to be, just additional attack damage and ability power. And keep in mind, these dragons are all random, but if 2 fire dragons end up spawning in the same game and you pick both of those up, you end up getting even more attack damage and ability power, and it's all a percentage, and it all stacks up to 3 times. So keep that in mind for every single dragon. They all stack 3 times. The water dragon restores 10% of missing health and mana over a given time. The more stacks you have of this dragon, the more frequent you will be getting health and mana back. So that's something good, especially when sieging, and just in general to get a little bit of health and mana back. You never know, sustain is OP in these games, so hell, that's gonna help out a lot. Cloud dragon, or the air dragon, I think is going to be the least relevant, or people just aren't just gonna care about it that much, because I don't know why. Move speed, in my opinion, is very essential to have, but out of all of the other buffs, it seems kind of unappealing to me, at least. And I don't know, it's just based out of combat movement speed, so it's good, but I don't know, it just seems like it's gonna be underrated for a while. The Earth Dragon allows you to deal extra damage to towers and epic monsters. So if you're sieging and trying to get towers down, you're going to do more damage. And if you're trying to counter jungle, just jungle in general, you are going to be doing more damage to camps. So keep that in mind. I just think that these dragons are all pretty strong, and the fact that they're going to just be contested is another thing that'll just end up snowballing games even harder. But honestly, I think it's a big deal comparing and contesting different dragons, because it gives somewhat of a strategical aspect to the game, in my opinion. And if you do know how to contest buffs and just control dragons, it's going to be beneficial for teams. So we're just gonna have to see how this plays out, especially for the elder dragon. Now, elder dragons will spawn at 35 minutes into the game. If a dragon is already up and spawn at 35 minutes, an elemental dragon that is, once it's killed, the elder dragon will spawn. So keep that in mind. Dragons do spawn every 6 minutes. You can kind of add that up in your head when elder dragons will end up being on the map. But once they do spawn, everybody will know, because every single dragon has a different portrait and in-game picture. It's similar to 5th dragon, and 35 minutes is basically the quickest you can get 5th dragon. Now, I don't know if it's the best idea to just have this available right away once you can get to it. At 35 minutes, like, it's not too hard to just goon squad elder dragon. It is a lot stronger now, but it's not even that difficult to kill. So if a team just automatically goes there and they're stronger than the other team and they're able to take this thing down with ease, then it's going to be a problem. But I don't know, we're just going to have to see how this plays out. Like I said before, one of the biggest changes I think this mid-season will actually encounter, to be honest. So just know that once you kill the elder dragon, you will get additional true damage over 3 seconds, equal to 45 plus 45 per stack of an elemental dragon buff. Now, kind of confusing, and it empowers their current dragon marks, which increase their effects by 50%. So it depends how many elemental dragons you're gonna have on top of this elder dragon to really make it as strong as it possibly can be. But it only lasts for 1 minute and 20 seconds, and once it is down, it's going to be spawning in another 6 minutes. So the other team is going to have a chance to get one of these as well and just use it to the best of their potential. So at the end of the day, once the games get to that 35-minute mark, it's going to depend on who can capitalize on dragons and barons. Who's going to be able to capitalize on taking these towers and pushing these objectives with the previous elemental dragon buffs. It's going to be a big factor. Now the last thing I want to say before I end off this commentary is to keep your eyes on the minimap. Not necessarily saying for when you're about to miss the CS and when mid lane is about to die and feed some more kills, but keep an eye out on Dragon Pit. It will let you know on what Elder Dragon will be spawning next, whether it may be fire, air, earth, or whatever the fuck the other one is, and when the Elder Dragon spawns. So it's gonna matter so much. The new hourglasses are incorporated as well. The white one will show if it is a minute until something spawns in any part of the map, any buff, and the yellow hourglass will indicate whether or not 20 seconds is going to go by and you can get a buff. So yeah, it was a shitty explanation, but at the end of the day, I'm happy about this change. It's gonna bring up the importance of dragons being taken in games. But that's about it for this video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to be notified when the next one will come out. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Peace.